What is up, everyone? As you can obviously tell from the lighting in here and my gear, it is cold in here. Yeah, it's really cold. It's like what, 33, 32, 30, somewhere around there. And I ain't really got my. And to try to save a little bit of money, I do not have on my heater. I have on this heater right here, but I don't have on the heater for the house because apparently that costs a lot of money. To which I am going to go on a rant about how much like I believe that money is kind of like just sort of. I believe that money is an oppressive tool. Now I really do. Like I'm having a hard time. I feel like there's just some things you're not supposed to put value on, and because people have basically placed value on stuff, like they just now just basically say, hey, by the way, this thing is too valuable for poor people to use, and it's like, well, how do you know that? And they say something along the lines of, we just made it up. So yeah, the quality is going to be a little bad. So if I move my hands around or just, you know what I'm saying, I really wish that there was a cool way that I could like do a flash thing. Like if I knew how to edit, I would. I'm actually working on how to edit and stuff, but my computer doesn't really have a lot of space to support everything I want to do. So I'm still just doing this. I'm learning on how to edit, but I'm trying to also do other things as well. I finally got my library card, y'all. I don't think y'all understand how happy I am about that. I finally got my library card. Okay, so for those who don't know, I'm a very, very, very avid, I'm very 100% loyal to the library, to the American library, because the library is basically what the internet was before the internet became a thing. That's the library. When I was younger, like much younger, I went to I found myself ultimately wanting to figure out what would just thinking what was the internet before the internet. Then I came across the idea of the library. So I said to myself, wonder what the library's website will look like now that the internet has kind of made the library a bit of an afterthought. So I went on my local library's website and I just found all this cool stuff, man. All this cool stuff. Like I was in a different city. I was at my hometown. Honestly, East Baton Rouge Parish Library, the East Baton Rouge Parish Library system, in my opinion, is easily one of the best in the state. I mean, in the country, no less. Because I've been to libraries in like other states, and they don't have nearly as many like nearly as much access to resources as EBRPL does. So it's like when I find the time to it, when I find the money to it, whenever I get back, I plan on getting my library card back from over there so I could like go back to getting the sources that they have over there because it's a lot, dude. And it's like it's really easy to forget how useful the library is because you got the internet and people love saying you got access to the whole. It's like if the internet were to die tomorrow, you would need the library. So I and I had a rough time getting my library card because I had a really rough time getting my ID here in the city because a lot of hiccups, a lot of things went wrong, a lot of mistakes happened, and basically the biggest one was I was supposed to get my license mailed to me, and for a while I couldn't get my mailbox key. Now that I finally got my mailbox key, it was on the day that I finally got my mailbox key, my mailbox was so chock full of mail that I'm guessing that the mail person was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just, like not. I'm just gonna go ahead and just not put stuff in here. I just can't stuff it in no more. So so now I did get my license. I now have my library card. I'm so freaking happy. Although I am a little disappointed because there's this app called Comics Plus that uses the library in order to access it, and it has like a lot of it has like a really cool, really different comics, and I haven't been able to, I can't access that through this library. So I'm gonna try to figure out how I can make that happen and try to make that into a reality because I mean it's a cool app, but you gotta have your library has to be connected, has to be with it in order for it to be a thing. I don't know. It just really bums me out because it's like I mean I can still use it for other. I can still use my library card for other online resources, but like there's a lot of comics that I was reading before, before I couldn't access them anymore. One of them was the Catalyst Prime series. Another one is one series is called Zombie Tramp. There's another series. There's a lot of like older stuff too, like not Red Sonja, but another series kind of like adjacent to that, like same artwork, but a little bit more realistic. It begins with a V, and I already forgot what it was. I need that app back. But yeah, I'm just happy to get my library card again. As y'all can obviously tell, I can talk about libraries all day. Yeah, but I would do reviews about library systems, but like I kind of don't want to because I don't want to throw out this idea that one library system is better than the other. But but I would like to kind of just sort of like point out exactly how great libraries are for certain places. Like, cause for example, when I was in Georgia, when I was looking up the library systems in Georgia, one of the things that I kind of liked was like they had access to a lot of magazines that I would be interested in reading. That it's like it's a library, so you ain't gotta pay for it. It's a library, so you ain't gotta pay. So there's that. When I was in there was the one in California. I think the thing that I liked the most, the California didn't really stand out to me too much because it felt like a standard thing. You know what I'm saying? You can get your ebooks, you can get your ebooks, but I did think that they did have like a lot of cool online access on like little online classes where you can learn certain things. I said once again for free, and and that's another thing too. Like going to a library, you can actually you can get access to online classes. Some of them can bring in certifications. Some that are very reliable. If you just wanted to like say if you want a confirmation that you knew something, you could do it using these classes. And the classes don't cost anything. You know what I'm saying? You could just do it in your spare time. It's just God. I could talk about stuff about the library all day, but I'm gonna have to get the hang of using the library anyway because money is tight. So money is tight, and I don't see it getting any more loose for me. And I don't believe in the idea of value anymore. The more frustrating everything has become financially, the less it's starting to I'm starting to have like less faith in the system that is like values and market and financial stuff and crap like that. It's like all that, like the financial part of life, it just comes across like a whole bunch of oppressive people just kind of trying to figure out how they can oppress poor people, because there used to be value in scarcity. Now there's just scarcity in financial torment. It's like the thing that you want, it's not that it's scarce, is that you can't afford it. Why can't I afford it? Because we don't think that what you do is worth being able to afford it. And what is it that you think that I do? You do nothing. You're a worker. You know what I'm saying? It's just I'm not cool with that. Let's see what else. In political news, I just wanted to be very clear that the president shouldn't be able to get away with committing a crime. I'm just saying. I will always say this: the further up you go on the ladder of success, the more transparent you should be. You should be allowed to be. Like, I'm not saying that your life has to be an open book where everybody has to know everything about you, but I feel like you should not be able to hide when you're rich. Like, everything should just be kind of out. The terrible things that you do should be out in the open for everybody to know about. You know what I mean? And the crazy part is, some of it is, but like, if that's the case, you should also get in trouble for it. It's just that simple. The richer you are, the easier it should be for you to get in trouble, because it shouldn't be, oh, you're rich, you can do whatever you want. It should be, you're rich and you should have all the luxuries you want, but committing crime isn't a luxury. You know what I'm saying? Oppressing people isn't a luxury. Harm isn't a luxury. And, you shouldn't be able to, just because you can afford the best lawyers and all this other stuff, doesn't mean that you should be able to get away with terrible things. That's how we end up with Epstein and his group of weirdos. You know what I mean? So, I just don't think that that's fair. So it's like, and if you're the president, once again, if you're the president, everything you do should be like public knowledge. Everything, like, granted there are some things that should be private because, to prevent panic from the public. A lot of P's in that subject. But like, I don't believe that everything should be. If I want to know exactly how much you're getting paid as president, you should tell me. If I want to know where you got the money from, you should tell me. If I believe, like I said, because if you're president, that means you're in charge essentially of everybody in the country. And everybody in the country should be able to trust you. Everybody in the country should be able to know who you are. If you, and it should be and like I said, it's common sense. You should not be able to get away with committing crimes if you're president, because if you're president, you don't want to commit crimes. As a matter of fact, if you're in any position of power, you shouldn't be one to do terrible things. If you're in any position of power or success, you shouldn't be one to do anything to harm another person. You know what I'm saying? Because the moment that you do, you should go to jail for it. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be easier for me to get shot by a police officer than it is for a former president to go to jail for committing crime. But that's just me talking. Also, in other news, personal news, a friend of mine is he's making a series of some sort, and he is interested in having me be a voice actor. So, hard work pays off, I guess. I'm really glad to be able to know that I am going to be finally being able to get my voice acting ability out there. You know, you gotta blow some dust off the old acting booklet that's in here, and get the hang of everything. He says that I did a pretty good job. He says I basically got the role, so it's just a matter of me just getting lines and being told what the lines are. So I'm really glad about that. I'm really excited about it. You know, it's like in the presence of me being financially unstable and everything like that, it is kind of good to know that there is some good that came out of this. I got my library card. I'm getting a voice acting gig. You know, I'm getting back in touch with my family. You know, getting back in touch with old friends of mine and stuff like that. It's just like things are not great, but things are not so terrible that I can only look at the terrible things. It's like a good even right now. It's a good even 50-50. So, like I said, so in lieu of my financial struggles, I'm just hoping that this is just a temporary thing. You know what I'm saying? Especially because, income tax season, I hope, right? Unless, the powers that be somehow manage to ruin this year too. But yeah, that's about it. Y'all be easy. Love, peace, and happiness to every single person out there. And, just be good to one another. I 100% believe that, like, one of the best way to solve every problem in this nation right now is for everybody to just sort of come together and help each other. You know what I mean? Like, this is where we're at now. You know what I mean? Like, being an individual shouldn't mean being a jerk. Being an individual shouldn't mean being selfish. Being an individual shouldn't mean wanting to harm another person. Like, in this day and age right now, everybody's being hurt. Everybody's being harmed. Everybody's being put to the brink of pain and suffering. We should all just sort of look past our differences and realize this is a person who needs help. I'm willing to help them. And I got to do that too. Because I hate Republicans. I hate Republicans. I would never like sit idly by and agree with one for their beliefs or whatever. But if they need help in some fashion, I would help them as I would any other person. You know what I mean? If they if they got if somebody needs help, I would help them. But I'm not gonna be like, you know what, you're bringing up some good points. Maybe I should get shot by a police officer. It's like no, that's dumb. I'm just going to be like, here you go, here's your help, go away. You know what I mean? But, like, I do believe that as society, we kind of do need... The amount of gaslighting that we do to each other to justify the cruelty that we pass along one another is ridiculous. The moment you wake up and you realize we should be helping each other. Because as a group of people, we can get stuff done. We can get things settled. The whole the thing with jobs right now, is literally called a union. What's a union? Like, what's the vocabulary word for union? It's it's a group of people coming together, doing the same thing and sharing the same interest in something. I mean, that's ultimately a club, a gang. I don't want to say gang, but yeah, literally a gang. It's just like we have to come together. We really do, because at this point we all we got, and that should be enough. But that's about it, though, guys. Love, peace, happiness, and safety to every single person out there. Didn't mean to go on that little rant, but I did. But yeah. Also, everything should be free. If not, it should at least be income based. Ooh, that's a good title.